the reason that we wanted to speak with all of you guys today is because of our topic that we're jumping into is DeFi. And I know, Udy, just looking at your profile, says that 5 years ago, DeFi actually changed your life. So I'm not going to get into that quite yet, but I did just want to highlight that and just kind of stoke a little bit of excitement here to be getting into this topic with you today. And I just really appreciate you being here with us, my friend. So I'll pass the mic back to you, but then I want to hear from everyone else here up at the stage before we get started.
Okay, so Trav, you're talking to me, right?
I am, yeah. I just wanted to give you a chance to respond before I move on to, let's see, who else we have up here. Safe One Chain. I just want to say a quick hi to him next, or her. Apologies. But Udy, I just wanted to give you the mic back real quick, just to kind of respond to what I was saying here.
All right, okay. So my name is Udy, and I am both, I would like what to put it, and I'm in Africa. I'm from Nigeria, and also traveled so many places. I've visited a lot of places around the world, and my interest for Web3 changed 5 years ago, specifically the DeFi. But as we move into the discussion, I will talk more how DeFi has been able to change many person's life, including mine, and how it has been able to eradicate poverty, because my study and my work is really focusing on places Web3 has not been able to penetrate. So I'm going to discuss more about that and how collectively each and every one of us must work in order for us to have blockchain and Web3 adoption across the whole world.
Oh, my friend. Wow. Hey, honestly, you send shivers down my spine. I'm really, really looking forward to getting into all of that. I think you're bringing to us a very unique perspective and a very important perspective as well that I'm really looking forward to digging in here. So thanks again for being here, my friend. I'm looking forward to today. This is going to be a blast. I'm going to pass the mic now to Safe One Chain. Absolute pleasure to have you here, my friend. This is our first opportunity chatting as well. So Safe One, I just want to send you the mic here real quick.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, thank you for having us. We are also first time here, Trev. DefiBears was actually inviting us. It's very nice to have a speak with you today, and come to know a little bit about the projects, what's today speaking, and also about you as launch host. We're always looking forward to getting new connections, building our network. We're also offering for our DeFi projects, yield farms and staking as DeFi beers, for example, using already our technology. So it's always very nice actually to get a new connection, have a different views about certain things. And I think the last days also a lot of things are moving in the market. Let's get it together. I'm looking forward to.
Love it, my friend. Hey, again, another unique perspective to the topic we're about to chat about today. So a pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much for taking the time, and very much looking forward to learning about your perspective. I think I just want to make sure to highlight to all of you guys up here with us today, and anyone else who's going to be jumping on, is that the value that you're bringing is very much appreciated. We have so much potential on crypto Twitter, in a nutshell, that, to be able to learn from each other. It's one thing to be able to send each other good mornings every day and reply and all of that fun stuff, but to actually be able to sit down and dig into our own experiences and to be able to share that with each other, our own knowledge sets and all of that and wisdom. There's just so much potential for growth on a personal level, on a project level, all of these different aspects. So please appreciate you. Let me start that one all over again here. Safe One, I appreciate you being here, my friend. I'm going to send the mic over to you, Tournamental Gaming, my friend. Hey, you've got a very, very interesting concept going on here that I'm seeing on your profile. I'd love to pass you the mic and give you a chance to say hello.
Yeah, I'll give you a quick brief introduction. I'm James Tayu, co-founder of Tournamental Gaming. It's a pleasure to be here. I know it was a bit lastminute.com. Shout out to DeFi Bears, and Udy was just been speaking. I've just been checking you out, mate, and love what you've got as well. I'm also here with with another co-founder, CEO, Dr. Crypto in the building. He's going to be sharing some insights as well with us today. But yeah, really excited to share what we've got and what we're building at the moment, guys. Completely new concept. You probably won't have seen anything like this, and yeah, it's going to be a bit of a struggle, but you know, we like the challenge. You might know us from other successful projects in the space. We've been around for a little bit, so yeah, we're going to be excited to talk a little bit more about tournamental gaming very shortly.
Excellent. Well, hey, pleasure to meet you guys both. James, Dr. Crypto, really value your presence here with us today, and looking forward to hearing about your projects. This is going to be lots of learning today, lots of connections being made here. So just to kind of introduce things and to kind of get everyone an idea on how things work around here. Actually, you know what? I just realized I want to give you, Bruce, a quick chance to pop in here, say a quick hello. Definitely cannot be underestimating the power of Bruce in our spaces. He's been here since day one and has been to every single one of our 8 spaces since. So, Bruce, I want to give you a chance to say a quick hello, my friend. So happy to have you here yet again. Mike's all yours.
Thanks, Trav. Appreciate that. Yeah. So sorry, guys. Had a late start to my morning, but my name's Bruce. I have a project that I've been working on for 18 months with my dad, and it's called Creepy Creatures. And basically everything is 100% hand drawn. And yeah, we're going to be releasing in 2 months our first leg of the project. So I'm really excited about that. But if you're into really dope hand drawn art and, you know, a great storyline to add with it, and then we're going to have some great utility down the road, besides having physical art pieces sent to you to, you know, display in your house or your office or your home. That's kind of what we're doing. And I'll pin a tweet up on top, because now I know how to do that. It took me long enough to learn, but yeah, I'll do that in a second so you guys can see the type of quality the art is. But as I'm doing that, I'll pass the mic back to Trav. Thanks for the little intro, Trav. And I love these spaces for a couple reasons. Number one, the people I've met, like Trav, and Quan's not here yet. But just the quality of people in this space are great. Everyone's genuine. Everybody's really laid back and just wanting to learn from one another. And then number two, just the value of these spaces is that I always learn something new every week, even if it's a topic that I know really well. Like last week, we talked about just basically the markets in general and how to like protect yourself when you're, you know, wagering. Like for me in my old sports betting world, like wagering and making like risk management for your bankroll and your portfolio. Like even though I know that really well, I still learned something from a different person's perspective. You know, so these spaces are great. Like you're always going to learn something, even if you're a quote unquote expert in your own field. So with that said, I'll pass it back to you, Trav.
Bruce, thank you so much, my friend. Excellent introduction to yourself. Excellent introduction to our spaces. Welcome, everyone. My name is Travis. I'm one of the 2 co-hosts of our show, Web3 Matters. See a lot of new faces here, making sure to go around and give everyone a follow. Just a recommendation I would be remiss to not mention is that I recognize a good chunk of you, and I would highly recommend everyone to give each other a follow. That's what this is all about. Everyone here adds a tremendous amount of value to the space, and there's a lot to be learned and so much value in making these connections here today. So let's get into it, my friends. So just to kind of introduce here, kind of how we like to run things in our space, Web3 Matters. So usually I start with a quick market watch. I'll go over the price action of the 3 major, the 3 major cryptocurrencies. We've got Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. So I'm going to keep that nice and short today because we've got a lot to get into and a lot of people to speak with, but I will jump into that here real quick. Also, just to kind of let everyone know the format and on how we run things. I am a hands up kind of guy. So if you do have something you want to add, I'll ask that you raise your hand and I will make sure to get to you. Also, I definitely want to hear about all of your projects, but the main focus of today's space is to focus on our topic, which is DeFi. So just to share that with everyone, you guys are working on some amazing things, and I don't want you to think that, you know, that's not a reason why you're here, because absolutely it is. And I'm fascinated by what you do, and everything I've heard from Quantic, it just fires me up. And so I am really excited to talk about that. But I do just want to make sure that there's a clear delineation between talking about our projects and then talking about the topic today, which is DeFi. So in saying that, before I jump into the charts, and I'm going to be very quick with this, anyone have anything that they want to throw in before we get started? Feel free. Beauty. All right, let's get into it. So we've had some interesting events over the last couple of days here. So if anyone's interested in following along, I've placed the charts that I'm using. I've pinned the tweet, so it's up above here. You can check it out. I'm just going to pull that up here. So basically, at about so this is my time. So yesterday, at about 5 o'clock in the morning, we had a massive dump in on the Bitcoin price action, and it actually pulled down the other major assets with it a little bit. So I did a little bit of research. Sounds like there's a couple things that drove that. You can see the tremendous amount of volume that kind of came into that as well here. Let me just take a quick look. Okay, so real quick, I'm just going to backpedal a little bit here. So I posted 3 charts under Bitcoin. We've got the daily, the hourly, and then an interesting one that I've posted at the end there with Mr. Bart Simpson's head. So I'm going to start off on the daily. So we can see that, yeah, there's a pretty big dump down to that established trend line now. So about trend lines, a trend line isn't truly validated until it has 3 distinct touches. That drop down confirmed that 3rd touch today on the daily chart anyways. So now we can definitely look at this line here as a very strong and established resistance, or support rather. Now looking into what may have caused this dump, there's a couple different things. First of all, the U.S. economy is definitely starting to sell off again, and that's a major one. Also, the U.S. dollar is starting to rise, and that usually is a bullish sign on the macro scale. So when the US dollar rises, it's usually an indication that the overall market is either about to sell off or is currently selling off, which it is currently doing that. But then there's another really interesting development that's happening right now, and it's Silvergate Bank. I'm not sure if any of you guys have heard of this one, but it's a Web 2 bank that deals primarily in cryptocurrency. Apparently their market cap right now has gone down by about 60%, and a lot of the big players are removing themselves from them. And there may or may not have been a margin call that took place. I'm still just trying to confirm that. But nevertheless, we did see that massive dumping, and it very well could be associated with that. Dr. Crypto, I see your hand up. I would love to hear from you, my friend. Here, let's get into it.
Yeah, so just touching up on that point, I looked into it myself. The last point you mentioned, and I don't know. I think there's something going on between Coinbase and them, right?
Yeah. I've also heard that. I know that Coinbase is trying to. I'm not exactly sure what their affiliation was with Silvergate, but it does sound like they're trying to distance themselves from Silvergate now in some capacity, and I don't entirely know what that looks like, but I do know that they are involved somehow. Literally just started digging into this morning, but some things are going around where big players are shifting currency around. So yeah, do you have any further insight on that?
Not at the current moment. I kind of get myself down rabbit holes, kind of did what you did this morning, and had a look at the reason. I always check I always go and check the dollar, and check the RSI and everything. And I ended up in a rabbit hole with Coinbase and Sterling. So I don't really know what's going on, but
Gotcha.
Are we doing another black swan? They said there were going to be a black swan event, so I'm not. I don't know.
I agree with you, my friend. Definitely. So here's my thought. So certainly could be a black swan event. I fully agree with you there, and that was honestly my first impression when I was starting to dig into this. I completely agree with you there. It definitely sounds like something went down where big players dumped a lot of their holdings. But then I looked a little bit more at the charts, and looking at it from a time perspective, looking at it from what's the word I'm looking for? Like a market structure perspective, the move kind of fits in for where it's at. I took a look at a couple of other charts from some really renowned TA experts in the field, and there was one in particular that really kind of spoke to me. Now, I'm going to be using some bullish words here. I want to just, put out a warning that I'm not going to be bullish until there is a sign to be bullish. So, but in saying this, a lot of the times before a big rip happens in the market, we have, it's like a flash sell. And this can be interpreted as a liquidity grab, where the big people in the game are dropping the price so that they can rebuy it at a much lower price as like a last ditch effort to fill their bags before things start to skyrocket. And looking at it purely from a technical analysis perspective, that kind of fits where we're at. The bear case though, however, is, there's a lot of bear signs hanging. There's a lot of bearish evidence to show that, if we start losing these very important levels that we're in now, we can be testing even as low as the $20,000 level within the next week or two. So I don't want anyone just jumping straight into buying up this dip, because there's definitely a huge risk factor there as well.
Yeah,
Also, just
I mean, the DXY kind of pumps a little bit, but now it's kind of retracing a little bit.
DXY, okay, yeah.
I think you might be on, because I have like a strategy where, you know, normally when I'll check the DXY, and the DXY pumps, you know, you'll see the market crash. When the DXY dumps, you'll kind of see a pump for Bitcoin, and it's hard to judge right now. So I think you might not be far off in what you're saying. You know, is this a scare tactic? You know, for people to load up, because after all, this is where people DCA, and this is where the millionaires are made. You know, people start grabbing what they can. But yeah, you can't overlook what's happened this year, and you know, and think, is it something bigger? You know, is Coinbase going to be the next to go? Because that'd be a major hit.
Oh man, that would be a massive blow. I fear to see what would happen if Coinbase is next in the barrel here. Yeah, very important thing to be aware of, and that's definitely supports the notion that, you know, as a trader, anyone in the market, anyone buying, selling anything crypto related, it is very important to have an idea of what's going on in a macro scale, whether it's strictly from TA, whether it's from a news event sort of situation. It's really important to, you know, keep all of that into consideration. Appreciate your insights with this, Dr. Crypto. Usually I'm the only one chatting here for about 15 minutes, so it's great to have some more insight. I'm also curious to pick your brain maybe later on here about DXY. Is that a commodity, or is that an indicator that you use?
Yeah. So you can use it on, if you go to TradingView and you look at the dollar index price, and if you type in DXY, I keep a track of it, always keep it open, and I kind of you'll see a pattern emerge. There's the DXY, and there's another one, but I ain't got I'm on my phone and I ain't got my computer. It's on a tip of my tongue, but I can't get it. So I kind of watch the DXY a lot. And when that moves, so it becomes a pattern. And when that starts pumping, Bitcoin starts dumping. And a lot of people use this as well in the space. So it's a good one to take in mind. Always keep an eye on the DXY. Have that chart up, and then you can kind of determine, you know, when we're going to have a little pump and stuff. You know, mostly every on a Sunday evening, the DXY starts taking a tank, and then the Bitcoin starts taking a move. So and the interest rates, right? So it's a factor, like you say, you have to look at it on a macro scale. So you have to take all these little bit of information. So like some pointers, what you just shared there, were like, oh yeah, that's good. You know, I'll take that and I'll use that to myself. But also add DXY to, you know, to your charting, and you know, just try and keep an eye on where that's going, and the RSI and everything, and you can just you know, you'll start seeing a trend, and it's especially around you know, where the world economy and stuff, and wars and all of that, it all factors in. But you know, if the banks up the rates and stuff, you know, you'll kind of see it, the credit between.
Awesome, man. No, that's stellar advice. That's stellar advice. There's a lot of things related to the price action of Bitcoin, and being such a prevalent asset in the market. There's a lot that you can look at that have some sort of a correlation, whether it's positive or negative, that can predict. I'm very careful when I look at indicators from a predictive perspective. A lot of them are lagging, but anyway, that's a whole other topic of conversation. But kind of just to wrap up this thought here, I appreciate you bringing that to the table here. I really do appreciate that. Perfect. So I see a couple other hands. How about this, guys? Actually, you know what? Let me backpedal one more time here. Siri, I saw your hand up first. Such a pleasure to have you up here as always. I want to send the mic over to you. If we don't get through these charts, I think that's totally okay. I was even going to just stick with Bitcoin today because everything else is pretty much the same picture, just looks a little bit different. So I'll once I hear from both of you, fine gentlemen here, I'll finish up the Bitcoin chart and then we'll get going into the hot topic here today. But Siri, I want to hand the mic over to you, my friend.
Thanks, Trev. No, I appreciate it. Great conversation so far. I'll be very brief. Just, I had to Google it. So I just, if you could enlighten the room on Black Swan event, that would be awesome. Thanks.
Ooh, excellent, my friend. And just one thing, you never ever have to limit yourself in this space. I just want to make that very clear. You're a stellar gentleman. Every single thing that you say is the value level is just, I would say at least 1,000, maybe even 1,025, something along those lines here. So appreciate you always, Siri. A Black Swan event is something that happens seemingly out of nowhere that has a massive influence on the price action. So for example, I like to think of the whole FTX collapse as a Black Swan event that just completely messed with the trajectory of the market. And like, you can just take a look at any chart and you can see even the daily chart right here. So if you look back into at the end of November, that's when the FTX debacle went down, and you can just see how disruptive that was to the price action, just sending it tanking pretty well. I was going to say pretty much out of nowhere, but anyways, that's a whole other rabbit hole that I will not get into right now. But basically, it's a massive event that happens spontaneously that completely disrupts the comings and goings of market price. So yes, excellent. I'm really happy that you brought that up. I need to be called out on these things. I just assume everyone knows all the things that I know. And as a Spaces host, that's not the most productive way to run things here. So appreciate you. Awesome.
It's crazy, right? It's crazy. Yeah, I think, some people, you get carried away with yourself and you start saying these things, presuming people know what they mean. So yeah, definitely a very good question. But I am actually long in Bitcoin. I'm actually long in it. I do check. I look at the order books and stuff. I went like 20x leverage, and I longed Bitcoin this morning. So I'm expecting a push back up today. This was my personal opinion.
And you know what? I can see that as well. And I'm going to get to that in a quick second here. But before I proceed, DefiBears, I'm going to hand the mic over to you, my friend. What do you got?
Yeah, just something which I'm surprised I actually haven't heard anybody mention, was the Mt. Gox news. I don't know if anybody's heard what's happening about that. So Mt. Gox was an exchange that collapsed a fair few years ago. They got hacked and stuff. But there was some news announced yesterday or the day before. A lot of their users have picked like a cash out option, and basically they've got 140,000 Bitcoin that's going to be entering the market this year for users to cash out. And it kind of seemed it all happened around that Silvergate thing that you mentioned. And the price action that happened to Bitcoin came exactly the same time that news dropped. I'm not completely clued up on it. It's something that you'd have to go and Google yourself. But if you just Google Mt. Gox, that's MTGOX, you'll be able to get yourself some information on that as well. They're a Tokyo-based exchange. They got hacked back in 2014 or 15, and they're having to pay some people back out in Bitcoin. And yeah, they've got not $140,000, 140,000 Bitcoins that are going to be entering the market, that they're going to be cashing people out and paying people out on this year. And that news dropped like in the last 24 to 48 hours. And
wow.
I think that's had a big impact on what with the BTC price that we're seeing at the moment.
Wow, man. Hey, thank you for bringing that to. I had no idea. Mt. Gox actually. I remember hearing about it about maybe a year and a half ago, but it had completely been out of my brain here. But that's huge. That's huge.
Yeah, it's all because of this Silvergate thing and everything. I think that's kind of. I don't know how they was connected. Like I say, I'm still just having to research it myself. I'm doing some quick research now to see if I can get some more info. But that's definitely one of the main reasons we've had some of the action that we've had recently.
Awesome, man. Wait, this is great. I love this. It's great having all these perspectives, digging into why major moves have happened. And I think that just empowers all of us to be able to make more informed decisions in any investment that we want to make, whether it's exactly on Bitcoin, whether it's on any other of the currencies, whether it's on even NFTs are going to be, the price action is going to be affected by this because, of course, everything translates to most of the main cryptocurrencies here. So very, very interesting. And real quick to just touch on that, just to kind of share with people, the reason why something like this is important with Mt. Gox is when huge amounts of liquidity is just dumped into the market like that, the supply and demand ratio is completely put out of whack. And that's when you see massive moves like this. So when liquidity is just dumped into the market, the supply all of a sudden increases. And that's when you see massive dumps like that we've seen recently that could certainly be attributed to that. So really important. But then also just the notion of something like that potentially happening. So even just if a news article would be released saying in the next week or so, prepare to see millions and billions dumped into the market, the effect that can have on the overall fear and greed of investors is also enough to make massive moves. So you hear the saying a lot, buy the rumor, sell the news. And which in this case, it would be the reverse of that because the news sends fear into the markets and investors quake and dump everything that they have. But yeah, just a whole bunch of awesome nuggets of info here that have been brought to the table. So guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I don't see any other hands, so I'm just going to continue just to drop a few more things that I've noticed here real quick. So we're sticking to the daily chart. We see that really important yellow line has been formed. We have a trend line. We have that area of support. If we break that to the bottom or break that to the downside, what I'm going to be looking for is a clean break followed by a retest, followed by the actual move down. Now, real quick, there has been many times, actually almost any time you expect a move to happen involving a very important level. And it's been very, very consistent on Bitcoin and even Solana and Ethereum. You usually see 2 to 3 fake moves beforehand. And that's, again, it's usually you see these fake out moves. And the idea is to induce fear and greed into the market, and that just basically to cause the most amount of pain possible. So I say that's what I would hope, but realistically, you will probably see something a lot more messy following that trajectory. The bullish scenario would be we bounce off this trend line and we test higher highs. Now, a couple of things to note. We have, so on the daily chart, I've set the moving averages to is it the weekly or the monthly? Let me just double check here. One quick second. I'm just pulling it up as we speak. So it would be the weekly moving averages that I have right now on the daily chart. So you can see how powerful of resistance the 50-day moving average is. Price actually went up to retest it and bounced right back off. So that's a bearish sign. Not a concrete definitive bear sign, but a bear sign no less that people are going to see and make decisions based off of that. You can see that we've actually broke below the monthly pivot, which we haven't done since the initial run up here in, what was it, December? Also a bearish sign. So we do have some things showing us that, there is a chance we might now break that trend line and hit lower lows. Now, let's go over to, I'm not really going to go into the hourly chart. I feel like there's better uses of our time today. But yeah, let's go to the last one that I put up there with Bart Simpson's head. So this is actually a legit, a chart pattern that people look at. It's called the Bart Simpson sign. And I thought this like just jumped out at me this morning when I took a look at the chart. Basically what it is when you see a dramatic straight drop in price like we did, you see that massive red candle and it just goes straight down. When price continues to go sideways with like small degrees of up and down, what the way that you can interpret that is that's Bart Simpson's hair going to the right. And the next thing that you might be able to expect from there is price to do a mirror image of the down candle and go right back up to be able to reclaim the levels that we had lost previously. So this is playing out right now. Whether it's going to happen, I don't know. But that's the beauty with chart patterns, is that if I'm seeing it, a lot of other people are seeing it, and they're going to use that to influence their trades. So just so everyone's aware, that is a sign. I thought that was pretty cool to see. I really have not seen that sign a whole lot in the market, and it was pretty damn cool to see today. So me geeking out about this kind of stuff, I figured maybe there'd be someone else around here who would as well. So there we go. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. Does anyone else have anything that they'd like to add? Any questions they want to ask before we carry on? I'm gonna just open the floor here real quick if anyone wants to jump in, and if not, that's totally cool too. So I'm going to take that silence as a go signal. Let's chat DeFi. All right, everyone. So let's get going here. The first question I want to throw out there, and I'd like to hear from everyone. I'd like to hear. Let's chat real quick about how does DeFi play into kind of your daily interactions on Web3, and what value does it what value does it provide? And just real quick, if you can kind of to tell me what your main use case is on the DeFi, on the like just general DeFi platforms here. So if anyone specifically wants to start, Siri, I see your hand up. I'm going to send the mic your way. Let's get this going.
Just another foundational question. Let's define DeFi before we jump in, if you don't mind.
Great, I love it. I want to invite somebody who has a lot of experience with DeFi to share their own personal definition, and then if anyone wants to share that with us, I'm going to give this opportunity to you. So Udy, I did see your hand up. Is this something that you would like to address?
Yes. So the discussion about DeFi is something I'm always going to be interested to talk about, because it is now becoming a real issue that most of us that are here currently must really be pushing it to many other persons. We have seen emergence of the CBDC, where the central bank digital currency is being pushed out right now. If you like it or not, the CBDC is now here to stay. It is just about matter of time before many of us are going to be forced into using CBDC. However, that is why most of us are in DeFi. So DeFi is giving us that opportunity for us to own our own money. DeFi is giving us the ability for us to control our finances. DeFi is giving us that opportunity for us to own our own data, and everything about us is owned by us. But when you look at the CBDC, government controls everything. Government knows what you want to do with your money. Government tells you how much you're going to spend. Everything is going to be controlled by the CBDC. So that is the reason why DeFi is actually very, very important. However, when you look at the traditional finance, most of us are not taught about finances when we're in school. But Web3 has been able to give us that broader knowledge about money as per se. We've seen that the government has the liberty to print as much money as they want. So tomorrow morning, government can print $1 trillion and nobody can question them. But when you put your money on the traditional finance, that is a fiat, you see that your money continues to lose value over time. But DeFi gives you that ability. When it comes to Bitcoin, you are able to invest your money, your wealth is on something that is not having any inflation. That is why DeFi is important. Decentralization is important. And when you look at many other places, maybe when we are not looking at the Western world per se, when you look at other countries who are depending on their fiat currency, we've seen how their wealth have been eroded because of too much of printing of money and their currency losing value. But DeFi gives everyone that opportunity for them to control their money. DeFi gives everyone that opportunity to change their life. For me personally, when I discuss about DeFi, it's always very personal to me, because I am coming from a place where you basically do not have enough for yourself. But DeFi has been able to change many persons' life, because DeFi has created jobs. DeFi has been able to provide employment for many persons. DeFi have been able to give skills to many other persons. We've had a lot of persons who are working 24 hours here on blockchain. Many persons are Web3 enthusiasts. Many of them are content creators. Many of them are social media managers, and many Web3 developers. So many what DeFi is offering right now, which you won't be able to have them in the other parts, maybe in the Web2 or possibly in the traditional finance. So individually, DeFi has been able to empower you, giving you the power to your own money, giving you the power to create wealth for yourself. And there's so much we can do with DeFi, which maybe later I'm going to talk about it. But truly, DeFi is here to stay. And we that are pushing Web3, we really need to make our friends, our family members to be part of this, because there won't be any use if you are the only person out of 10 persons you know that is on DeFi or that is on Web3. So you really want to help them so that their money, their finances, their wealth should not be eroded because they might be embracing CBDC or whatsoever the government is throwing on them. So it is important that we discuss this, we take it to our friends, we take it locally, we help many other persons to come into this emerging technology.
Udy, my friend, you are firing me right up. The passion that I can just feel while you talk about this important topic is contagious, my friend. Thank you for sharing that with us. That's so much to take away and so much to dive into. Yeah, that's wonderful. Very, very excellent way of just describing the potential that DeFi has to be able to change their life. I want to take a quick pause. Quantic is here. Sorry, Safe One. I want to hear you first here. Let's.
I would like to jump inside the CBDC story. Like many people still not understand what is coming on us in this year. I'm from the European Union. Like I forgot before to introduce myself. I'm Matthias. I'm CEO from Safe One Chain. I'm from Germany. I'm sitting in the European Union, and we have a very huge problem actually to register our company. So we had to go away from the European Union. Just because of the CBDCs, just because of the control, what is coming up to us. Like Europe is just like, you can say a liberal praise, and still Europe, introduced laws for coming year that every citizen have to have a digital identity card, the digital bank account with the European Central Bank, where you have to have, where you can have maximum $3,000 somewhere on site, but you only can access with this kind of wallets public services. You can go to hospital, like your children only can get with that to school. You can go with that only to doctor. They say like, do you want to promote it? But basically your freedom to access public services is taken away. So there's like Web3 is very, very important. Like right now, like a few projects coming up, like one is to name is Mind Token. For example, we don't have them today here in the discussion group, but maybe next time you will invite them. They specialize basically on health insurances, on law insurances, on everything what actually government like offers you in the private sphere, and almost for free. Actually, you're staking just like your NFTs, what you're buying there, and get actually your insurances then basically like according to that. But there's a lot of products what's coming now out, and it's very important to say there will be open fight actually, decentralization against centralization, against government, against CBDCs, as we said, like central currencies. They are given from the central banks, and the central banks controlling your money, and they can decide. Like in China, for example, it's like one of the worst examples what we can put in a moment. They have a point system, so where your character and your behavior in public is getting judged with a point system. So you come lower than a certain point system, you're not more allowed to use public services. You're not more allowed to go bring your children to school. You're getting public what's the name? Public blackmailed, so you're everywhere in the public advertisement, like in a subway, in the airport, even in your home television, and people like shown there, okay, this guy was speaking against government, this guy was running by red over the junction or something like that. So they are getting public blamed. So, and CBDC is one tool of that, one big tool of it. China was making a very bad example from it. Europe is not doing a much better situation. Also, like we're fearing really a lot what this can impact actually on the normal customer, because like people just like pushed from the normal fiat currencies, what is already a very unfair system, because it's just inflating, and especially after the Corona time. But like what they try to apply actually on us, a dictator on finances is something where we really have to come together and work together. So I really have to go to Udy and really have to support Udy with that we have to shout out, that we have to bring our family and friends there in and really explain them what is coming up in the next few months to go. It's not more few years, it's just a few months. That's all out, it's all law. European Union was deciding just like 3 days before about the future plans. G20 had a meeting speaking about crypto at all, like private crypto coins or tokens will be forbidden in the next few months as well. So there's a lot of regulation coming on us, and our project, for example, Safe One Chain, is building also some kind of infrastructure, but what is somehow government friendly. We can speak later about it. It's another story. If you want to research, please join our page, click my profile. We are today here to speak about DeFi, and DeFi and special Web3 is important because everybody can access it. So like we, for example, what we're doing, we starting to prepare the market for government compliance. Like for us, our blockchain will be a vetted blockchain. So we're deciding actually who is coming on. So they need the LLC. They need to be profiled from us from certain parameters. And this will be after government compliant. We even in a later stage we have to start discussions with European government as well as UK government. There's some incentives work is going on with some software developer for the what's the name, construction industry. They was inviting actually to launch their software on our chain, and therefore they open us actually the doors to discuss that also in government areas, because right now we have a really big problem. We had a lot of trouble in 2022, and especially with FTX, what you already spoke about, with the Almeida banking crisis. Now the main supplier from the BUSD was taken down. And then we have another banking shutdown, what is completely handling crypto in a very huge way, what the most not even can imagine what they have for loads or for volumes actually going in the crypto space. But that's like really big tremors. They coming out, and they are made to the most parts from the government to produce fear in the market, to shake us away. So now's the time actually to come together to build more technology, what is in one way compliant, but in another way facilitate the customer, like the single person, the zero at fishing customer on the space with freedom, because that is the great advancement actually for Web3, that it was giving freedom to each and everybody, not just for rich countries, for third world countries, for any place in the world where you can today access with a satellite your internet, with a solar you can charge your laptop, and you can take part actually even to take a validator in the POS blockchain, or you can be trader, or you can even build some project for your community everywhere in the world, even in Antarctica, if you want to be that crazy. But actually, it's a freedom what we never experienced. And the last years we felt something like a gold digger time, where there's a lot of criminals coming out, and you have a lot of rocket scams going on. That's why the governments actually started to say, okay, we have to help you. Now we have, like things they are getting unfolded regarding the FTX, who was getting bribed. That's going up to the very director, to the SEC. So now they lost the face, and like public shouting out to make a type of regulation what will go against us, not for us. Basically, you always say it's for us, but who's getting protected at first? That's the big investment companies, that's the banks, that's the one we're actually fighting against. And that's why we have to stand up, we have to build more, we have to push that more actually to our next kind of kin, and really bring more people inside the space. Like 2022 was crushing so much, so it's like very hard job to build it up again. So but if we come all together, we can do it, and it's for our better good. As Udi was already telling, like it's very important to decide for what you spend your money, for where you put your money, what you are supporting with your money, because that is real democracy. That is the real good actually what we can reach actually with decentralization of finances. But like a fight is breaking out, and it's very interesting where the next months are going. We also, as a project, we positioned ourselves especially for this kind of topic. And we hope actually to move the market in the next few months with our ideas, vision, and with our background support. Thank you very much for listening to me. I think this was very important, and this was just for the topic. Thank you.
Love it, man. Hey, thank you so much for sharing all of that. You brought up some incredible points that I'm definitely looking forward to digging in one by one here. First, just observation that so much passion that you bring to the table here as well, and outlining the importance of the potential of DeFi and how it can really change lives for people all over the world is just absolutely incredible. But then also you bring up the fact that we could be threatened right now, and work is going to have to be done to be able to protect the beauty and the purity of the DeFi system to begin with here. So lots to dig into there. I'm looking forward to getting into all of it. But first, before we go any further, Quantic has arrived, and I want to give him a second to say hello, to show up. He's responsible for bringing a lot of us here today, so credit is given where credit is due. Quantic, the mic is all yours, my friend.
Thank you, Travis, GM to everyone. I'm really happy that I was able to join I'm really sorry. It took me a little bit because I'm about to defend my PhD thesis, and part of the process is to go with different, oral presentations and examinations. And today I had one of them. I have had several over the week, and hopefully next week it will be the end. So thank you everybody who has, personally supported me and reached me out. And I'm super glad to see that we are having such a passionate discussion about DeFi and CBDCs, because it shows how important it is to generate these kind of spaces in which people can join and share not only their opinion, but what is going on beyond like what the technicalities of the issues are, right? So right now, the situation that we are facing with DeFi and CBDCs is going to get crazy just in a few months, as one of our friends here said. And we need to be prepared for that as a space, as a whole, because a lot of misinformation and confusion will arise from this sort of war that we will face, especially with regards to CBDCs. I'm not sure how much have we discussed about it in the space yet. Travis, can you tell me a little bit more?
What you've heard is about as far as we've gotten. Udy touched on it as well. But yeah, pretty much, I believe you were here for the good majority of it. Yeah, we're just starting to get down that rabbit hole. And when I say rabbit hole, I feel like that completely discredits the importance of the topic. Could not be more happy that this is what we're talking about right now, especially as a guy who lives in Canada, a well-off country. I will admit, I take for granted how important all of this truly is. I've already learned so much about how this can potentially change people's lives and how much of a threat the CBDC is actually posing to your guys' ways of life. So I'm feeling quite humbled right now, and I'm looking forward to dig more into this. So Quantic, I've answered your question. I want to give you the mic right back.
Yeah. So, can you tell me from your personal perspective, what is the situation with CBDCs there? How people perceive that? Because I have seen that this is one key differentiator in the space. Like, some people perceive them as something good because they are more regulated, and other people realize that this is a real threat because of how are we going to be manipulated ultimately by governments, just like our friend said before about the Chinese situation.
Great question. I think before we dive into that, I was hoping somebody can actually just put out a very clear definition of what the CBDC is. I know I'm following Siri's suit on let's deconstruct things first, make sure everyone has a thorough understanding, and then let's dig into the implications of it. So real quick, is anyone able to kind of give us an idea of what exactly the CBDC is? And then we can take it from there.
Yes, we can do that actually. Since we have a blockchain, it's very easy for us to explain. Anyway, CBDC is a crypto coin created from a central bank of a certain central bank in the world. So to facilitate actually their own banking services, nothing else than a Binance coin. It's not decentralized, it's totally centralized, and they can code anytime any solutions there. And for example, like if they don't like customer A, and they have their name, because you have to be registered in effect of European Union with a digital identity card and digital wallet, so you can't use the wallet without a digital identity card. They can actually say, okay, this guy was misbehaving, we stop actually the transactions. On another side, they can restrict you which kind of goods you, for example, can access, or which kind of transport you can use, or in which countries you can move, or where you can withdraw your funds. On another side, your funds never ever can get lost. They will be always with the central bank. So central bank never can get bankruptcy. Private banks can. So the most of the banks where you invest your money, or where you have your money laid in a traditional way, are private banks. They are not government banks. They're not central banks. Central banks, basically the banks, they lending money to the private banks, and the private banks making huge business. The central bank just working with government directly together, and the government can create laws to derogate the central bank. So that's what's happened actually worldwide right now. That's why you have like many different incentives. The worst case right now is China, where China connected actually their central currency, like the CBDC, to their point system. What is very undemocratic, it's very harassing, and it shows us one very major possibility what can happen all over the world. So now we have like different places where CBDCs are created. China was the first what's bringing it out. India is right now following. European Union is now in the final stages of the laws. It was just passing through. I have to a little bit research now the actual stand what was decided, but the law was already repealed, and in Europe, in future, hopefully not, but in future, there's only wallets allowed to transact maximum $1,000. Otherwise, you have to give KYC. Every wallet have to be under the scanner because of tax evasion, sanctions, and so on and so on. Like, there's big moves going in 2023 onwards. Like, most people not realize that it's something like very, very huge going on. Like, chains will break with that. There will be a lot of like scare in the market. There's a lot of volatility coming with that up, but like what we have to realize is that it's on one side they give you security, but security on every bank account, for example, in Europe is given to 120,000 euros, and you only can imagine you can only have 3,000 euros on this CBDC a CBDC on your wallet. So that makes no sense actually to say, okay, this gives you bigger security, because you even buy a normal traditional bank backed up till 120,000. This is just something for the very, very rich people. And since you can't hold so much money, it's just pointing in one direction, dictator. And, if you can't control people from a public way anymore, because our socials are already so much democratized, and Elon Musk just bought back Twitter, this was a big warning sign also for them. We have a war going on in Europe. There's a huge way of propaganda, a huge way of manipulation, and government want to get in control again. Like, you can say this movement of the CBDCs is the same when the United States or Europe was before the Second World War taking actually the gold from the people. When they go from house to house and was taking the gold from the people, was taking away their finances. And that's what's happened after like two big financial crises in the 1920s, as everybody know in history. And like what's resulting out of it is something fearful. I don't want to go in that direction, but like that is what we are right now in. It's something where governments in the world want to get control over it, and every government have their choice to program anything inside the CBDCs as they want. So it's not a decentralized token. It's a centralized system, and it's anytime open to changes. So anytime the government can copy anything inside the code, whatever they want, and that's the danger in it, basically.
Okay, no, that's I'm definitely finding that I'm a little bit lost for words, in the sense that this is serious stuff. We're not just talking about trading today. We're not just talking about starting an NFT project today. We're talking about something very profound that has massive implications for people's way of life.
Yes.
Yeah, my friend, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. So basically, in a nutshell, the CBDC is crypto created by a centralized bank, and that seems to have major influence from the government. On the one side, they do offer security for your tokens when you said that they can't go bankrupt. But on the downside, there's that huge opportunity for corruption. Absolute power corrupts absolutely, as I'm sure many of us are very familiar with. This is very clearly a centralized situation here. And then that hearing about the digital ID cards, that just definitely leaves a very sour taste in my mouth, and it elicits some very negative emotions here as well. So awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. I see a couple other hands up here. I did also want to quickly backpedal and address Siri's question about what exactly is DeFi. I think we can do a little bit better with hammering down a clear definition, which I think is important, considering that's the premise of everything that we're talking about today. So I do have a definition locked and loaded. Quantic, did you want to touch on this here real quick before I jump down that rabbit hole?
No, I leave you to take care, because actually I see our friend also, Crypto Nature, raise his hand, Udy as well. So since you got like the order, let's proceed that way.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Perfect. You know what? Here, Crypto Nature, I'm going to send you the mic here real quick. I want to hear your point of view. And then also, if you do have a good definition of DeFi for us, that would be awesome. So the mic is yours, my friend.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're listening to me from. Thank you very much for the mic. Woody, I see you. Good afternoon, customers, everyone. I greet you all. So, first of all, I want to, add to what most people have said when it comes to CBDC and DeFi. But first, I would like to, just define DeFi or just explain it in a very short word. Okay, DeFi means decentralized finance, and when something is decentralized, it actually means freedom. You have access to what you do with it. You decide how to do with it. You get me? So it's just like you now having total control of your money. So for that person asking for DeFi, like the definition of DeFi, that's just like the simplest way to define DeFi is a decentralized finance where you have control of everything, your funds, your money. You decide what to do with it, how to spend it, where to spend it, and the rest. But the internet definition say DeFi actually means a decentralized finance referred to as an ecosystem of financial application built on blockchain network. You get me? The model will explain what DeFi actually means. So if you want to know more, you can actually ask Google. So that's just a simple way. So now my little contribution when it comes to DeFi and CBDC. Me in person is whenever I hear about CBDC, the first thing that comes to my mind is control. Yeah, that's the first thing that comes to my mind. Some people CBDC actually means central bank digital currency. So the first thing that comes to my mind is control. As some of you have said before me, is that the government really wants to be in charge. They really want to control the funds. The masses are not actually buying into their own way any longer, so they are now looking for different ways to actually have everyone under control. Because it is, you can agree with me that the person in charge of your finance, the person in charge of your funds can actually dictate to you what to do, where to do, and why to do them. You get me? So this is what the federal government wants, or this is what the government wants. They want to actually control our funds. Now the thing is that one of the greatest my greatest fear is that a lot of people will later buy into the CBDC because they have no idea of DeFi. They don't know what DeFi itself means. They think that okay, the CBDC will be the best option since it's coming from the government. No, 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 no. And I think that's where we all need to come in. That's where we all need to play our part. Because believe me, not everyone will get to be on this space. Okay, this space, we are actually shilling out important details, but we are not up to 100. You get the point. We're not even up to 150. So that's what we're saying. A lot of people will not get to understand the disadvantage of the CBDC. Okay, they believe that since it's offering them security, it's not going to be volatile. Okay, that means is the best. But no. I think that's the only thing the CBDC has to offer. Aside from that, it has a lot of disadvantage from my own end. So CBDC means control, and it's gonna compete with DeFi. That's very certain. It's gonna compete with DeFi. And why will it do that? Not because it is better than DeFi, but because the governments are backing it up. Now, if you agree with me that over the couple of years, the government have been fighting this decentralized finance system. They have been fighting us, bringing in different regulation. You get the point. Okay, they say they actually want to help the system because they believe that the decentralized finance system is corrupt, in the sense that anyone can have his own token, rug it or do whatsoever he wants with it. If the government really wants to help out, why not bring in laws, regulations that will actually favor the decentralized system? Why then CBDC? So you get the point. The motive is just beyond the trying to regulate the crypto market itself. Is beyond that. They want to actually control this phone. And one thing I'm still saying is a lot of us are relenting when it comes to education. Let's actually chill out education, talk to people about DeFi and why they need to know about DeFi and come on board. So thank you very much for the space. Thank you.
My friends, I'm feeling very grateful hearing you speak today. In your voice, I can feel your frustrations. I can feel your passion as well. I could feel how much this affects you personally, and I admire that you're here with us today, telling us exactly, how things are for you. I think that you bring up some amazing points. One thing that I would love to just spend a moment and focus on for a second is how important it is to share and to disseminate that information that DeFi has potential, and it's. I'm hearing some echo here. Is that me or is that somebody else here? This is very distracting.
I can hear you as well with echo.
Okay, I'm just going to try muting everyone here real quick. One sec. Hey, how's that? Can I get some hands if you guys can hear me still? Are we good? Perfect. Okay, awesome. I'm going to unmute everyone. Hopefully that solves the problem here. And let's carry on. So yes, just want to quickly highlight the fact that we were just talking about how there's a lot of misinformation being spread about DeFi, and in countries of the world where DeFi does hold the most potential for people to enhance their life. Oh, it's happening again. Here we go. All right, can I get some hands? Can you guys still hear me? Are we good? We good? Awesome. Perfect. All right. So this is a really important topic that we're chatting about right now. I want to let me start that over by saying I want to highlight how important it is that we do our part in sharing about counteracting that misinformation that is being put out there about DeFi and everything that's happening with it, and also how important it is for people to know that there are other options out there besides CBDC. So really happy that this is the focus of our conversation today. And this is just great here. So I do see your hand up there. Also, actually, real quick, so we actually have a definition of DeFi now. This is great. Decentralized finance. And it's more of a peer-to-peer situation where it has fundamental principles of transparency, security, and freedom of your own currency to be able to make your own decisions for your own money without outside influence. So that I just want to also put a stamp on that here real quick. And then let's carry on here. So Cosmos, DeFi analyst, I see your hand up. I'm so sorry if I butchered your name, but I'm going to give you the mic. I'm going to unmute everyone, and let's see. Hopefully we'll have an echo-free conversation here.
Okay, good evening all, good day or good afternoon. Can you hear me?
We can
sure can, my friend.
Clear.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep, we got you, my friend. Can you hear us?
Okay. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak up. Okay, Crypto Nature, Udy, what your people said is very fantastic. I just want to lay some emphasis about DeFi, decentralization and data ownership. Yes, we are going in futuristic way. So I want to stipulate about DeFi and how it will help to some people or some beginners coming into the blockchain sector. Like what I want to lay emphasis mainly is education part of it, because some people are neglecting the power of education related to DeFi, data ownership, and some content owners and different things related to Web3 and DeFi. So my major aim is for people coming in to be educated about DeFi and also how it will help them, because right information, right knowledge about something will help you to understand more about how it will help you in the future terms. Like example, we have Udy, CEO of BrainsDAO, which related to Web3 education, and let people go and understand how things works. Some people are in this space because they don't have right information. They are, my friend is in this, my friend is in Web3. But the major aim, let's take education as part of our daily activities, because having right knowledge about how things work will help us to foster and also understand things that is being taught, and also things that will help us to grow both financially and academically. So my major aim is let new people coming into blockchain sector to get information and also the right knowledge on how things works about Web3 and blockchain technology. You can check BrainsDAO and check everything related and educate yourself very well about blockchain and all things, because some of these people that attracting CBDC to is because of money laundering and things, because of lack of education. But people who have the right sentiment about the future of Web3 blockchain technology are using it well. But these hoodlums are using it for fraud and other things related to criminal activities. Let us get the right information and educate ourselves for this great innovation in this space. You can check things that will help you to build your knowledge academically and also knowledgeable for us to succeed in this sector. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you so much for that, my friend. And I commend you for your mission of wanting to spread proper information about this. I think it's very clear right now how important that is and the dramatic effect that it can actually have on people's lives moving forward. I want to ask out a question to actually, you know what? I'm gonna ask you this question, Udy. Can you outline for us how exactly DeFi does enhance people's lives around your country, around your continent. How does DeFi add so much value to your lives and to your day-to-day? Can you shed some light on that for us?
Okay, all right. So thank you for giving me the medium to explain this further. When you live in a country where the value of your money is being eroded or continuously losing value because of government policy and because the government has the monopoly to print money into circulation, you will need an alternative for investing or keeping your finances. Truly, that brings about DeFi. For many persons in my climb, when I talk about climb, I'm talking about my climb, I'm talking about Africa as a whole. We see DeFi from my perspective and from many other persons that I have onboarded into Web3. When I talk about Web3, I'm talking about cryptocurrency and blockchain as a whole, the industry. So we've seen a scenario where lives have been changed. Now, when I mean lives have been changed, is where many of us have been able to not just have jobs, many of us have had our life changed by investing our money into solid currencies like Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, which per cycle, it has changed many persons' life. Two, we've had unemployment rates drastically reducing because of DeFi. And we have a lot of young persons who are looking forward to the government to solve their problems, knowing that the government cannot solve their problem, but actually taking the powers, the opportunities into their own hands by going into DeFi, controlling their life, being the author of their life in both in the finance and also in the workforce. So we've had a lot of startup projects that have been able to employ young persons into the DeFi world. One of the examples is my own project, which is the Brains DAO, which we have been able to onboard many young persons. And we've written articles, we've had series of spaces, conferences, we've had a lot of podcasts, we've been having radio stations that we use to educate people even locally, helping many persons to understand that you don't need to keep your money, you don't need to save your money in the bank. The banks do not love you. The banks use your money to do what business they wish to. There's nothing the banks can have for you because if just 2 to 3 years between 2020 and 2023, many African countries have seen their value of their money losing 30 to 50%. Honestly, the value of their money has gone down 30 to 50%. Inflation has never been this high before, but we've seen people who have invested into cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin and many other, Solana, Ethereum. If you look at where we were 3 years ago or 4 years ago and where we are today, if you had invested money into Bitcoin or Ethereum or Solana or whichever coin you invested 3 to 4 years ago, I tell you, you are in a better position right now than investing in the fiat system. Not just that, we've had a lot of young persons, a country like Nigeria, they had young persons at home because of university were on strike for over 8 months. What were these young persons doing? Many of them were trooping into the DeFi. We've had a lot of cases where the government seized money. The government do not allow you to transfer your money. The government do not allow you to use your own money, freezing your bank account. So where were they turning into? The DeFi. There are lots, my brothers, there are lots of things that the DeFi has been able to solve, been able to give you the power, been able to help many young persons. And CBDC, it is very important that we let many persons to know. CBDC is not cryptocurrency. CBDC is not built on the blockchain because blockchain is an open source. Anybody can see through every transaction. With CBDC, the central bank controls everything and everything is centralized. However, it is not too late. But we know that by the late 2023 to 2025, CBDC will become the base. CBDC will be here to stay. But it is right time that I said it, we need to take a look at, we need to bring our friends. We need to let a family member. This is not time where many persons were saying cryptocurrency is this, cryptocurrency is scam or is a Ponzi scheme. That kind of story it has gone. We are not in that story. We are not in that propaganda anymore. we've moved ahead. We've seen it. It's here to stay. Bitcoin is over 12 to 13 years old, and it has proven beyond doubt that it is the best technology that is here to stay. So that is not. So we need to bring many persons to help them understand that this technology is what is going to defend them. This technology is what is going to help them, because the governments, those guys there, they are going to do everything they can to make sure that people are in their control. So DeFi is that wall that is defending the common man. DeFi is that thing that is going to help you defend your money, defend your information, give you the control of your finances. So yeah, we are doing a lot. Information, we have the information, we also have the knowledge. So the knowledge is what we are building now, because many persons have had the information, but they don't have the knowledge. So now it's time for us to bring that knowledge, help them understand, bring them on board them, and give them the right skill for them to thrive with DeFi.
Incredible, Udy. You went above and beyond with that answer. Just the fact that your primary currency, the one that obviously is controlled by the government, is just so fragile and in itself is extremely volatile. When you're saying that the government can just print money and the what word am I looking for? The value of it is just tanking. They can freeze your accounts. Truly does show how much potential that any of these major cryptos can have on your day-to-day. I love that the DeFi has clearly done more for the jobless numbers in your country than the government ever could. I think that alone is a huge testament to the power of DeFi. And I just want to send some praise your way for doing the good work, for doing the hard work in contributing to those numbers reversing, to giving jobs for people who need them now more than ever. And I'm just honored to be here with you today to learn about all of this. So moving forward, I'm just trying to think of what a good next step might be for this conversation, because I think we're really hitting on something really important here. Quantic, I want to send you the mic.
Yeah, thank you for reading my mind, Travis. So one thing that I would like to encourage to everyone to do now is to connect with each other and to connect with the people that are right now in this space. What's happening here is really important, because we have seen how we go from technology and cryptocurrencies to something much bigger, which is about making people free and human rights, right? Like, this is all about things that matter far beyond blockchain, decentralization, transparency, not becoming poor because of some government printing money. And because of that, if you guys are here listening to this, please do that and connect with each other, because it's something so important that we have these spaces and that we have this discussion. Just wanted to say that, Trav, and I think that the next step in our conversation should be about what can we do about this situation. Like, we know that DeFi can provide us a tool to, in a way, be more free from the powers of banks in our economic lives, right? But how can we leverage this in a way in which people can actually use it and support us? Because it has to be the majority of us who use it and who understand what's going on here. It doesn't matter if we are only just a bunch of guys here in this space talking about this and nothing happens next. It has to be something else, right? So I would like to encourage that discussion, if that's okay for you.
That sounds wonderful. Let's talk about this. Let's highlight some actionable steps that we can take today or over the next, week, couple of days. However, let's talk about how we can actually contribute to this education that we need in the world, how we can contribute to the DeFi movement. And I would love to invite anyone up here who has some ideas on how we might be able to do that. I'm looking for tangible steps that we can take to help improve the situation for everyone. I'm just gonna leave the floor open. Actually, you know what? I will ask for you to raise your hand, because I know we have some people here who haven't been able to speak as much, really. So I want to invite. Let's see here. Who do we have? We have Tournament Gaming. More than welcome to come on up here. We've got DefiBears. Haven't heard a whole lot from you guys, so if now's your opportunity if you want to jump in. Bruce, if you have anything you'd like to add as well, by all means, the floor is yours. But other than that, if you want to jump up here and get some words in, I would love to. But I would just absolutely love to hear from you.
How you doing, Trav? Yeah, I've just been listening a lot, really, especially with the CBDCs. Get tongue tied there, but yeah, with the the centralized currencies coming from the bank, that's some stuff that I'm very concerned about as well. So I've just been really interested just listening to you guys explain a lot of it. I'm not really too clued up on a lot of it, so there's been some good information passed around. But with the DeFi in general, the way that we're using it, the way that it's helping us is like the borderless thing. We've got a jobs platform that's part of our project. With that, we've got people from all over the world that come and work for us, and it makes it really, really easy to pay these guys. Because we're using Web3 and we're using DeFi, so there is nobody involved. There's no middleman, no anything like that. And just for us, it's brilliant for us, really. There's no restrictions, and the transparency that's involved with it as well. It's all there on the blockchain for everybody to see. So yeah, there's just a little input from us about how we're using it, and how it's really benefiting us, and how we're bringing people on board as well. So we've got a lot of people that are coming that some of them aren't necessarily involved in Web3, and they come and complete some tasks and do some work for us, and then they have the option to be paid using Web3 and using DeFi. So there's no bank issues, and again, like I say, they're from all over the world. So no, if we was to just stick to the usual methods, we would struggle to pay these guys. There's all sorts of restrictions when we're working with people, and we have people that are working with us. I've got a guy who works for me, and he lives in France, and he wasn't involved in crypto when he started working for me, and we had all sorts of problems just trying to get funds over to him and everything like that. Even using the normal methods of PayPal and everything like this, we were still having issues. I got him all set up onto Web3, I got him set up into DeFi, and now I can pay him within seconds, and it's there, and he's got his funds, and he's in full control of it as well.
Amazing, man. Thank you for sharing that. I think you've highlighted another really important component of DeFi, of just the ease of getting money from one person to another, no matter where you are in the world. Quick personal story. I have a friend who lives in Nigeria as well, and he, we've been good friends for a while, and he asked if I'd be able to lend him some money, and of course, more than happy to. So I think his mode of preference was he wasn't on the blockchain yet, and so he asked for a money order. And the thing with this is that it took multiple days for it to get to him. I think it costs, $50 or something along those lines to be able to send a small amount of money to him. And there were, of course, other fees on top of that as well. And it's an extremely inefficient way to get money from one person to another. And DeFi, of course, just completely revolutionizes that. Depending on the blockchain that you're using, it can cost fractions of a cent to be able to send money from one person to another. And it happens relatively instantaneously as well. So that alone is just revolutionized the way that people are interacting with money, the way that people are able to, it really helps with the whole globalization component of being able to work with people legitimately across the world. Like, I'm looking into the audience today, and we literally have the entire globe covered. We're sitting here having a chat about some really important things with people who are hanging out in countries all over the place. And I don't know, I'm geeking out a little bit about that right now. I think that's pretty amazing here. So thank you for sharing that. DeFi Bears, I also just kind of want to give you the opportunity here to expand a little bit. What sort of jobs do you have people do for you? And maybe you can give us a little bit of insight into what that looks like.
Yeah, sure. It's I don't know if you guys are familiar with sites like Upwork and Fiverr, things like this. Freelance job sites. We've actually made our own. We're in the process of scaling it up at the moment, and we're using it more to promote our project at the moment. So a lot of the jobs and the tasks that are available are very project based. We're building up our user base. We've got, if I could just go and check now and have a quick look. It's been live just over 2 weeks. We've got 181 users on there. Most of them are pretty active, and they're out there just completing tasks that we set, things like downloading our games, leaving us reviews, helping to get the word out for the project, things like that. And soon enough, we're going to be, once we've got a strong enough, more solid, more active user base, then we'll be advertising it to other people to come and use, where you guys will be able to come and set your tasks. And it could be anything you want, really. I mean, it's a freelance platform, and we've got options to pay through PayPal and to pay through Web3 as well. So we're really trying to get people involved. The apps are live on the App Store as well. So, we're trying to reach that mass audience, and we're hoping that it can drive some adoption and get people that aren't necessarily Web3 savvy or aren't on the blockchain yet. We can help get them onto the blockchain as well.
Incredible. So you have, basically, it's like a job site where people can come do jobs specific to the ones that you're posting, which at the moment benefit your project, which is awesome. I love that it's kind of like a Web 2.5 approach, where you're transitioning people. You're making them, you're empowering with the ability to make money in the first place, which is incredible. But then, being able to pay them in in different ways, but then also being there for them to be able to help transition them to Web3 and help them out with setting up wallets and all of that stuff. Really, really cool. I'm looking forward to learning more about your project. I see Udy, I see your hand was up there for a second here, but DefiBears, I do just want to send you the mic back real quick here just to respond.
Yeah, no, that it's okay. Udy can come on. What I'm gonna jump on my phone with the other one. I'm just gonna join the space with the other, because the website that I'm on about is called bearable.work. We've got a Twitter set up for it, so I'm just going to go and jump onto my phone, jump onto the Bearable account. I'll come into the space, and then you guys will be able to see the account, give it a follow, and see what it's about as well.
Awesome, man. No, that's perfect. Thank you for doing that. That's I look forward to learning more about it. I think that definitely fits the theme of what we're talking about, of leveling the playing field when it comes to job opportunities, creating wealth for oneself, also having control over your own money. I think what you're doing really fits, the glove fits, and I admire that you're here talking to us and that you're putting in all this work to contribute to the core values of what DeFi brings to the table. So thank you so much, my friend. Look forward to learning more about that. Udy, I'm going to send the mic your way, my friend. Let's hear you.
All right. So I want to relate a very personal experience just yesterday so that our audience will understand why DeFi is important. There is a scenario that is currently happening in Nigeria. It's not about the election. It's about the bank policy, the cashless policy that is currently going on right now. But I am speaking specifically from remittances right now. If you have someone, for example, the person is in US or in Canada or in Europe, and the person is sending money down here into Africa, for example, Nigeria, it is one of the most difficult things to do to be able to receive that money as we speak right now, because the cashless policy is making it very difficult for you to receive that money. Now, most of the banks are shut down, and the few ones that are open, you have hundreds of persons lining up from 6 a.m. And even if you go by 6 or 7 a.m., you will already see people who were already there by 5 a.m. waiting for the banks to open. You see the frustration that many persons are going through just to receive money. And even still, with that money, the charges you get, sometimes you might not receive that money because some banks do not even pay you the dollars. For example, I have a relative in California. She wanted to send money to her mother here in Nigeria, and she really wanted to send the money to my own bank account because I have a dollar account. But right now, it is very difficult to receive that money to my bank account, because how will I get the money? Because even if I should go to the bank by 6 a.m., I'm already having hundreds of persons waiting for the bank to open by 8 a.m. And still, you are going to stand for the next 5 to...
Udy, my friend, we lost you. I'm not sure if you can hear us, but we can't hear you at all. Oh, you're coming back slowly here.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, here we are. Loud and clear, my friend.
All right, so if my relative, if she was on DeFi, all what she needed from me was my wallet address. So with my wallet address, she can seamlessly send me money and I receive it to my wallet. Then from my wallet, I can now exchange it and give it to her sick mother. So you see areas for example, remittances that DeFi have been able to solve. The bottlenecks when it comes to traditional finance and remittances is very difficult when you come to places like in Africa. And that is why we really need to push the adoption. As at today, or is it today or yesterday, some banks in UK are not even allowing their clients to buy Bitcoin and cryptocurrency with their credit card. So these things are coming, and many persons will see why it is important that we push that adoption of DeFi. With time, some banks will not even allow you to transact or facilitate bank transaction with your wallet address or with your exchange. It happened here in most countries in Africa. That is why many of us have gone into the P2P, and slowly the UK people are going to feel it because they have seen the power of DeFi. They have seen how much power is leaving their hands to individual people right now. And DeFi is really the catalyst of all of this. So it is important. Education is very important. And we really have to work together because, like in case of Canada, we saw what happened in Canada last year with the bank run and many issues with the banks. So you see that even where you think you are comfortable with the traditional finance, tomorrow you will wake up to a policy that will make you very difficult for you to even access your money. Truly, DeFi is the answer, and we really need to adopt it. Really need to help many persons to understand why it is important. They need to know about this technology. We have to also onboard people. We need to teach them. We need to help them to see how they can use it with their daily life. So that's all what I can say. Thank you.
Amazing,
Thank
UD.
you very much. Oops, sorry,
Quantic.
Trav.
It's all yours, my friend.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much, Yuzi. I really appreciate your words. And actually, I have a couple of questions there because, every time someone asks me about the utility of crypto, when I find people that, don't like it or think that it's bad for illegal activity and things like that, I tell them about remittances. So this is a very effective way to illustrate the power of crypto. But there is another bottleneck which I wanted to ask you about, which is, okay, I send you the crypto and I can send you stable currencies, right? Like USDT, USDC. But then how do you use it there? You still have to go through an exchange or a central bank at some point to get it into your local currency. So how does that process work? Is it too painful? Is it easy? Are there any integrations that are, super useful? Because maybe someone in our audience here can, start using it if they are not,
I would maybe jump there in. Like, there's actually solutions in the DeFi space. We are partnered, for example, with Anonymous, what offers like gift cards, so you can everything buy with gift cards. Let's say like you go to Amazon, Walmart, anything what is available, and you can change your token, for example, to this gift cards and can avail anything through this gift cards through a normal digital code. Or another possibility would, for example, to load that now up to a debit card, and can everything access what you can buy with a debit card. This can be digital, this can be physical. Right now, there's a movement going on with Visa. It's just breaking news that they stopping actually all the crypto engagements. What is a little bit problem also for our products, because we're also offering like digital debit card and also the gift card alternative. But I think like this gift card system, or systems, for example, like Oxe, or like a vendor systems where you can access almost each and everything with it. That is actually the future. Like, it's getting more and more digitalized, and also in third world countries. That's like, for me, very interesting actually, that in third world countries the adoption of crypto is much faster than it's actually happening in Europe, for example. So they was stemming a lot against it in a very start. Like, if I remember, a case of 2018 was that, where they put in what was that, Bangalore, India, the first like Bitcoin vendor machine, where you could like put rupees in and get crypto out, and the opposite. This guy was getting arrested very fast, and was getting prosecuted from government, where you could see already how much governments are against that. In 2020, this guy was getting released after there was a Supreme Court order. But like such cases are like running around the world. Like in UK, for example, last year, the year before, like, it was complete crypto ban. Like, you could not buy any crypto or cash out any crypto to your account, and that's why, like, solutions as Anonymous is offering, or we're offering with our digital and physical debit cards, are very important actually. Everybody's a little bit laughing about the pizza purchase of the first Bitcoin, but this was a milestone to make Bitcoin to that what is actually today. And this is like using your crypto as real world money. That is the real use case, the real thing actually, what everybody have to aim for, a real economy inside the crypto sphere. Like today, we have already through DefiBears or other projects, we have the possibility that you can earn money from all around the world with crypto. So now we just have to adopt more to construct more decentralized systems to really purchase things in the real world. And there is windows open in a certain sphere. For example, by us, you can have a KYC-less debit card, but you just can purchase to a maximum $500 with that debit card, and then you have to reload it again. With the gift cards, for example, you have a limit per wallet from $5,000 what you can use, and then you have to use another wallet. So like with that one, there are barriers built to prevent actually the big government issues like fraud, tax evasion, stuff like that, like terrorism. And I think in future, to be alive, I think we have more to comply inside the, don't comply even. Like compliance is something what we don't like, basically, to talk about, because compliance means dictator. But what we want actually, and Safe One Chain will be one of the leaders in the next 12 to 24 months for that. We want to press more for self-regulation in this space, and that's something very important, because we know what is DeFi about. We know what we can reach. We know what is the problems there, and not the governments. They want to regulate us, and it's especially not in situations that they are rising out of the chaos what was just created with the stablecoin collapse in mid-year 2022 and end year of the big exchange collapse with all the cards in the card house what was breaking with it down. That's something what I spoke already before about where government have to act, but very important is with that really we have to get the message out and educate the people what is really the future about their pockets there. Like I know in Sweden in the Corona time, when everybody was starting to give injections for Corona or go to the testing was that in the first phase, Sweden was completely going out of that movement. They're not using masks, but you had actually the same phenomenon with the check posts. You can say what you find in Germany or all over the world, basically, for checking for Corona. You find there for chipping the people. So they got already their first chip systems integrated, and the people running there like crazy for free. So that means in Sweden, you already can pay with your hand. You just go with your hand over a digital system, and you can pay with it. And then ask yourself what kind of currency you can use there. And that's just the CBDC. So, and there, as I told before, there's a dictator created for the future where we have very strongly to work against that, and decentralization with a touch of centralization, but the centralization created from our side. It's very important actually to go forward and go in the fight with the huge movement of the banks. Actually, it's the last outcry of banks and governments to go against the total decentralization. What is basically some kind of reward for our space. But yeah, we have to take very much care in the next few months where we're going, how far we're going, and how far we're breaching actually the borders. But we have to continuously breach them and to establish us there. And yeah, education, because now is the time where we can move something. Probably in 12 to 24 months, it's too late.
Yeah, it might be good. Incredible, my friend. Excuse me. You definitely highlighted some really awesome points there as well. Thank you for sharing some knowledge on how exactly people are using cryptocurrencies and are breaching that gap between crypto and kind of day-to-day use. That's brand new information to me, knowing that places like Africa and India are so far ahead when it comes to implementation of DeFi. I think that's absolutely incredible and very inspiring, actually, and actually brings me a lot of hope for our future. And I think just the fact that from a macro scale, when humanity is presented with a challenge, things like this happen where people will rise up and find a solution. That's just so inspiring to me. And I'm just very much enjoying the conversation that we're having right now. Just to kind of take a quick step back here, we are approaching the 2-hour mark. So we're going to be wrapping up pretty soon. Moving forward, I just want to invite everyone to just consider the following. First, I would love to I would love to be able to leave the space with a few tangible, actionable steps that we can take in order to help spread the word of DeFi. If you guys have any ideas, Udy, Safe One, DeFi Bears, anyone, if you have any ideas on things that we can do to help push this forward, I would love to hear that. Also, before we do go, I'd love to give everyone a moment just to talk a little bit more about the project as well. You guys have graced us with your presence here. I think the least that we can do is offer you guys a platform to be able to share about the work that you're doing a little bit more. And we will try to keep it concise. Again, timing is slowly becoming an issue here. So I'll invite you guys to share a little bit about your project, but we'll just keep it nice and concise. And feel free to share up any links up top. I've already gone to your profiles and taken the liberty of sharing some things, so information is there if anyone's interested. But carrying on, let's hammer out a few actionable steps that we can take to help move this move the DeFi forward, and then let's talk about our projects a little bit here. So DeFi Bears, I saw your hand up there first. I'm going to send you the mic, my friend.
I appreciate that. Yeah, actionable steps. I'd say educate your in real life friend. The people who aren't involved yet. If you know they're not involved yet, educate them. Just explain to them why. About the control with the government. A lot of people don't know about the inflation and printing, relief printing and all of these things, and the dangers behind some of the currencies. Explain to them about the freedoms that they'll get, and just educate them as much as you can. Educate yourself as well. Every day is a school day. The scene's always changing. There's always new things to learn. There's always changes within just the whole scene, Web3 in general. Stay on your toes. Make sure you're always trying to learn. Attend spaces, learn stuff, connect with people. But above all, just educate and just speak to people about it, man. Just spread the word as much as you can. I won't talk too much about my project. I've already spoke about mine. If anyone's interested in it, you can click on the profile, see the links, come and chat to us. I'll be on the VC over in Telegram after this anyway. I'll turn the mic down now and we'll go on to some of the project.
DeFi Bears, thank you so much. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate that. I appreciate you being here with us. I appreciate your sharing your knowledge, your wisdom, your experiences. Fantastic steps. Education is key. Education is number one. Yourself and others. I think there's tremendous amount of value in there. And just these grassroots type actions that we can take in the long run will build up and will spread like wildfire. And I think just the whole DeFi concept is a testament to that. So fantastic input. I love your take and look forward to connecting further. Moving on. Udy, I saw your hand up. I'd like to send you the mic, my friend. Udy, I'm not sure if you're trying to speak here, but I can't hear you. But
right.
if
Can you hear me?
There we are. I hear you.
All right. Okay. So thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate that I have been able to share my idea and my knowledge and my experience. So what I'm looking for is support to the project I have been building for over 6 to 7 months now. We are working tirelessly to onboard many persons into blockchain. That is the BrainsDAO. So if you go through my profile, you'll see BrainsDAO, or I think I posted it to Disperse. So we are building a platform that we can easily onboard many persons into Disperse, giving them the right skills for them to thrive on Web3. And most importantly, we have a community native token, which is called the Brains. And Brains is only a token of 200 million in supply. And it's deflationary, and it has also an auto bond. Plus, Brains is an edufy project. Many persons have not heard that word, but BrainsDAO is an edufy project where we are pushing educational content, and we are also helping many persons to have the right financial knowledge for them to thrive here on Web3. Additionally, we have a lot of podcast sessions. We host a lot of Twitter spaces to educate many persons and help them to understand why it is important for them to be on the DeFi and leave the traditional finance. So please, guys, you can do well to visit BrainsDAO. Possibly if you can buy our token, invest in our project. We are looking for many persons to come in to build with us so that we can expand this project. For me, very soon I will be connecting with my guy, Travis. I'll be coming to Canada and I'll be in US very soon, a couple of months from now. So I will have a lot of opportunity to meet with you guys and how we can expand this industry further. So thank you very much, guys. It has been a wonderful moment I have spent with you guys. So see you when next Trev is going to host a space.
Oh, yes, Udy, you have graced us with your presence today and have certainly lifted this space up to a whole other level. which I'm very grateful that we've gotten here today. Honestly, Quantic, I'm not sure what your thoughts are, but I honestly think this is probably our most important space that we've held yet. Truly, it is an honor to be able to share your story, and truly, it is an honor to be able to dig into some real world applications of DeFi. And when I say real world, I'm talking about something way more than everyone kind of filling their bags, making profits on NFTs. This is something real. This is something that is affecting everyone's lives on a daily basis in ways that I honestly I had no idea it was to this extent. Feeling very, very humble, feeling very grateful. And let's keep in touch, Udy. Anything I can do to support you, please let me know. My DMs are always open to you, and I'm looking forward to looking into BrainStyle. This sounds awesome. Highly recommend everyone taking a look at that. Investing if it's within your means. Clearly, the cause is pure, and it is making a huge amount of difference in the lives of people who really need some help here. So, Udy, thanks again. Appreciate everything, and let's keep in touch, my man. I want to, got a few more people here. Tournamental Gaming. You haven't been able to, or that sounded very insincere. I want to give you the opportunity to jump in here, talk about your project, talk about your experiences. The mic is yours. Feel free to jump in.
Thank you very much, Trav. And to be honest, mate, I've been quite entertained just listening back to everyone's knowledge and insights on the whole DeFi game. So yeah, shout out. I mean, I'm always happy to talk about tournamental gaming, but to be fair, guys, what you've had on topic's been smashing. So I'll just give you a quick little insight. So tournamental gaming, or aka tournamental cryptos, to what it was called previously, we decided to do a little name brand change due to the fact that getting the gaming community to come over to crypto is a whole new different challenge in itself. But we're an experienced team, fully doxed. We launched on Pink Sale back in November with the docs, KYC, audit, SAFU badge, and we based our project on the model of, I'm not sure if anyone's familiar of something called Checkmate Gaming, but it's like a wagering platform. So it allows gamers of all different rank and skill level to wager each other on their particular game set and what they like to play. Esports gaming in itself is multi-billion pound revenue, 1.7 billion last year revenue, predicted to hit 5 billion within the next 2 to 3 years. And Checkmate Gaming itself hit 5 million just through wagering tournaments. So we saw that as a key sort of model that we could base our project on, and obviously, but with the full emphasis of safety. Hence why we operate a Genosis Safe multi-signature wallet, which our treasury goes and helps support the project in whatever means necessary. So we're looking to give money out to charities, obviously gaming related charities. So we have some gamers with some some medical conditions, some disabilities such as autism and ADHD, and we were hoping to give out some second-hand consoles, if it may be. The treasury basically operates as a governance, basically, for the entire project itself. So we have an 8% tax, 6% goes to the treasury, 2% goes to liquidity of the token. And to be fair, guys, we've not really pushed marketing so far. We're still building the back end and making sure everything is fully proof perfect before we start really pushing the marketing side of things. And we feel it necessary, and we've obviously got quite a few diamond hand investors that have stayed with us from the very beginning, but we're still very early in these days. But we have groups on our website, member chat, so we definitely want to encourage. I know you were talking about educating folks and getting them involved in the space, and by all means come over to tournamentalgaming.com, set up yourself a little membership. You can log in with Google. We're actually transforming it over to iOS as well at the moment, so we're going to bring a few different other login functions, but we definitely encourage you to come along, just join some of the groups or start your own group discussion. What is crypto? That'd be a good group. But we're also looking at we've had a few tournaments recently, Call of Duty tournaments, but we're going to be doing some more COD Mobile and some other mobile games, and we're obviously getting other projects involved as well with their games and hosting different tournaments for them on our platform. Very easy to use, and yeah, I'll not get into too much detail about it, guys. In fact, what I will do though, I'll give you some alpha. If you don't mind, Trav, can I just pin a quick tweet up in here, because we're actually building a NFT marketplace at the moment, and just for you guys, well, this was actually just for our community guys in the Telegram, but we've actually just done a quick test mint, and what I'll do is I'll just pin a quick, if I can just find it, a quick tweet. Hang on 1 second. And if you go to, hang on, I'm not sure if it'll let me at the moment. I'll try and post it up as, oh yeah, here we go. So there we go. So we're just doing a few tests at the moment, but Shush Hush, there's a free NFT to mint there as a commiseration of our first tournament that we did back in December. We've done a couple so far. And if there's a game that you particularly like and you've got a community or at least, a few people that like playing it, come over, create your own group on the website, get people talking about it, share and care. And yeah, we'll definitely host something for you. And the reason why we operate multi-sig is so everything's transparent. Somebody wages somebody else. It goes through a smart contract. It's visible for everyone to see, and the winner gets paid, whatever the set amount is for the prize for that fund. So, but in regards to that, we're still doing as other parts of building and adding utility. Hence why the little NFT shout just come out there. So I'm probably going to get slated. The other co-founders are not with me at the moment. They've had to drop off. So I'm not going to get shouted at the moment, guys. So yeah, you're welcome. Go and get your first free little NFT, guys. But yeah, shout out to everyone who's been talking as well today, guys. You've all been fantastic.
Love it, man. Well, hey, you heard it here first. Alpha has been dropped. Check out the link above to get your free NFT drop. Definitely appreciate you being here with us, my friend. Thank you so much. I want to just quickly highlight one of the things that you mentioned. The fact that you're contributing part of your funds raised to charity. And I'm from a healthcare background. I know there's a lot of people here who don't know me very well, but I'm a trauma nurse. Off the last couple of years dealing with my own personal journey with PTSD, but I also have firsthand experience to know the power of video games when it comes to medical conditions. It's tremendous. Mindset, as many of us are told repeatedly on Twitter, we see it everywhere we go, the power of mindset. This is an absolute understatement when it comes to dealing with chronic conditions, when it comes to dealing with physical, like hospitalizations, any sort of acute physical injury or illness. The power of video games when it comes to struggling through a situation like that cannot be understated. Being able to give someone some hope, take their mind off the situation that they're dealing with, and just to kind of foster a bit of positivity in their life has scientifically quantifiable positive effects when it comes to healing, recovering, all of these things. So I just want to thank you personally for making that a priority of yours and your project. That's amazing. That truly is touching my heart. So yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here. Thanks for sharing the alpha. Thanks for sharing your perspectives. It's been a true honor. Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I just want to say, Trav, shout out to you again, mate. And it's a shame Evan's not in as well. I'm guessing you're Canadian. Evan's our games lead, knows a lot more about the gaming side of things, compared to me. But I'm sure he'd be chewing your ear off as well at the moment. But yeah, also, guys, we don't just do wager tournaments where people have to obviously pay. It's, we do free tournaments as well. So just stick around, and whether or not you play Fortnite, Rocket League. We're obviously going to be getting a lot of mobile gaming. I know Sarah's in the chat. She plays a bit of COD Mobile with me as well. And yeah, we definitely want to do something that's more accessible to everybody around the globe. Because I know not everyone's got consoles. I mean, my daughter's got my console at the moment, to be fair. Well, I call it her console. So yeah, I'm pretty much, the console's gone to the kids in the house, and I'm on the mobile. So I'm all down for mobile tournaments. But yeah, stick around, guys, and keep in the loo, and we'll have some announcements coming soon. But appreciate you, Trav, for having us on board, mate. Thank you.
Hey, pleasure's all ours, my friend. And I don't know Quantic, but I'm thinking that the topic of gaming on the blockchain might be something we should address relatively soon, especially with everything that's been going down with Doogie Dash. Can you guys believe that? Holy smokes. That's crazy. It's a very prevalent topic right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that gaming is one of the main areas that is going to drive mass adoption of crypto in general. So I think that it's connected with everything in the end. So definitely we should address that very soon. And, just to say, now that I have the microphone, just to say everybody how much appreciation I have for all of you for joining today. And we're going to, my contribution here, I know that today I wasn't too active, but my concrete step is to take this to another space in the future in which I will take care of bringing more guests and more people that can actually help us to build a sort of roadmap for DeFi adoption, which is something that we really need. We have seen that this has been one of the spaces, in which people have been more empowered, let's say, and this is one of the main purpose of these spaces that we started with Trap, right? These spaces are called Web3 Matters, and it's for a reason. It's because we want to help uplift people and bring them together and build things and, have fun and educate ourselves. So yeah, just my 2 cents on this subject.
Incredible, Quantic. Yeah, I couldn't have said it any better myself. Honestly, I couldn't have even touched that with a 10-foot pole. You absolutely nailed that. Completely captured the sentiment and truly how meaningful today's space was. That really puts a good highlight on that. I also just want to mention real quick. I'm just scrolling through some messages that I just received in Quantic. I just realized how much you actually sacrificed to be here today. I won't go into details. I'll leave that up to you. But the fact that you're here with us today, despite everything that you've been going through the last little while, my man, wow, you had my respect before. Now you have my admiration. I appreciate you being here with us today and facilitating this talk. Just awesome. Just awesome. So we are just about wrapping up, guys. I want to give anyone else one final opportunity to say their piece. Besides that, we will move on. We will finish up today's space. Couple of quick things here. If you ever want to be hosted on any of our spaces, reach out to Quantic or myself. If you have any ideas for topics, feel free to reach out to us as well. I'm just launching this right now. I haven't announced this yet, but we have a bonus space coming up next week on Tuesday. Stay tuned for details. But this one's going to be awesome. I've got an amazing guest who I've had the honor of hanging out with a couple of times. But let me just start by saying the amount of value that he brings to Web3 is incredible. His presence in spaces is like nothing I have ever experienced before. So I'm really excited to be able to share more information about that with you guys. That's coming up. Feel free to stay tuned on our accounts, and then we have our Web3 Matters accounts as well. More information will be coming about that soon. So from here. Anyone else, here's your opportunity to jump in and say your final piece. And besides that, we will be signing off. So floor is open.
I guess I'll go then, Trav, since everyone else has said their thing. Real quick, I just wanted to give a shout out to Trav and Quantic for always hosting an amazing space because, like I said earlier at the top of the show, you always learn something in these spaces, whether you're an expert in the particular topic or you're brand new to it. And also, I'm actually going to practice my 30-second pitch here. If you look at the Jumbotron and you scroll all the way to the right, it's the second to last one. You'll see the artwork for my project, Creepy Creatures. Everything's 100% hand-drawn by my dad. Yes, I'm not joking. My dad is actually the artist of the project. We've been working on it for 18 months and we're going to launch in about just under 2 months. We have our first 3 characters coming out. We have 13 in total. Most crypto or NFT, sorry, not crypto. We've been talking nothing but crypto today. Most NFT projects have 1 or 2 characters. We have 13. So I feel like that's going to give us some good exposure in the market. And also we're art first based, where I want to get people actual physical copies of their, NFTs in their homes, in their offices. And then I'm a massive sports nut. I played at high school and college basketball here in the state, and I'm going to add some really cool utility for IRL stuff down the road. Once the whole project is released, we're doing it in phases. So 3 at the end of April, and then the next 3 characters will be released a month after that, and so on and so forth until the whole collection is complete. And like I said, yeah, if you like the art, if you like the little minute-long pitch I just did, or if you you're just a fan of the characters that we have everything from Frank to a zombie to Grim Reaper, which is my PFP that's in the silhouette form still, not to be revealed yet. Yeah, just either give me a follow, or on Monday, actually, we're starting our marketing pivot where we're showcasing the storyline that I've come up with, and we're showing it through my dad's art. So if you're intrigued or you're interested, follow the company account, which is at CreepyOGS. So Creepy OGs. And yeah, it's going to be fun because we've got a lot of pieces that my dad and I have been working on the past 2 weeks, and we're going to start to paint that picture and tell that story through the art. So I'm really excited. And yeah, if you have any questions, just DM me. But other than that, if you guys can remember, every Friday at this time, that's when Trav and Quant host this space, and it's literally, I make sure that I don't have basketball sessions to teach because that's my IRL job, because I always want to be here for these spaces calls, because Quant and Trav bring together great people from all over the world, and they always have an interesting topic to talk about, whether it's DeFi today or last week we were talking about how to be manage your bankroll. So, and it goes anything from that. There's always great topics, so just try to tune in if you can, and I'll leave it at that. I'll pass it back to Trav or Quant.
Can I just jump in there and just say, bro, shout out to you, mate, and them NFTs and that artwork, because I have been drenched in AI crap for the last 4 weeks, and to see something hand drawn back to original. I mean, one of the co-founders of one of my other projects will be loving this because he's fully down with this. In fact, he dropped out of college because everything started going digital. I said that was the biggest mistake he ever made in his life. He should have stuck with Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator. But no, shout out to you, mate. I've had a sneaky peek earlier, actually. So yeah, I'll be definitely checking that out.
Thanks, Tournament. Yeah, man. Yeah, everything's hand drawn, and my dad is real quick. My dad, when I was growing up as a kid, I always knew my dad was a good artist. But then as I got to be at 13, 14, I'm like, holy shit, my dad is really fucking good. He's really good. So that was one of my main inspirations to start the project 18 months ago, was to get my dad's artwork. Just he's got plenty of jobs here to do in real life with his murals, t-shirt designs, cartoons here in the Bay Area in California. But I wanted to get his work out to the world, and that's kind of what was one of my inspirations for this project. So I gave you a follow, bro, and looking forward to connect with you further. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm big on the hand-drawn stuff. The AI stuff is cool to a certain extent, but it's not my bag, baby, as Austin Powers would say.
Yeah, that's the one. And plus, there's a load of lawsuits kicking up, afterwards. So, someone's actually created the code for the AI in the first place. So, they need to get paid too. But no, you can't beat it. Can't beat it. And obviously saying that you're going to be trying to get in original copies out to people as well, which is absolutely doable, is awesome, mate. So yeah, I'm going to keep my eye on you.
Thanks, brother. Yeah, I appreciate that. We'll talk more. Go ahead, Trav and Quant. Appreciate you guys. You're the best. Knowing these guys for 2 months now, and they're nothing but high quality individuals. And I see a bunch of familiar faces, but I'm really happy that we had a lot of new people in the space today. So Trav, Quant, that's just a testament to you guys. Good job.
Oh man, well, Quantic, I don't know about you, but my heart's feeling pretty damn full right now.
Pretty full. Thank you so much for the nice word, Bruce. And yeah, please, if you can, I know that I'm fully committed, but I really love the project and the work that Bruce is doing. I think that the art is just some next level thing, and once you guys get to know the story behind, you're gonna fall in love with the project. If you know me, you know that I do not chill projects, even my own project. But I do support Bruce because I know the good quality of project that he's building and the great person that he is.
And right there with you. I'll never forget our first space. Bruce jumps up, starts talking about his project. I was impressed, to be honest with you, mostly about the person behind the project, Bruce yourself. But then I logged into your Discord, and then I took a look at the art for the first time. And that's when, there's a specific word that I'm looking for again. The credibility just kind of jumped through the roof. Amazing stuff, my friend. And thank you for all of your encouragement. You are the #1 supporter of our space. You're here every week. You're always so kind and compassionate. Definitely, you have our full support as well. And we appreciate everything that you do. So like I said, heart's full, feeling the good vibes. And I've got no further words. Otherwise, I'm just going to start rambling here. So on that note, I think we're wrapping up there, friends. What an amazing space. Very, very powerful. Loving what we're doing here. Very excited for our next ones. I think that's about it. Quantic, any last words that you wanted to share, my friend?
Just to say once again, thank you to everybody for joining, and make sure to give a follow to Web3 Matters and to Trav and me and the people in the space, because we are going to continue building and bringing these fun and educational spaces. So next week we will have more. Trav will tell you the good news, and we're going to keep growing together.
Love it. Nope, that about sums it up perfectly. Before we drag this on any longer than we need to, everyone, thank you guys so much for being here. Truly makes a huge difference in my world, and it's a pleasure that we can all be here together today and grow in Web3 and realize truly how much it matters and how much all of you do. So on that note, I will end it. Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful day, and I look forward to our next one next Tuesday. Take care. Much love.